a little bit on the longer side, hopefully. I'm recording this Saturday morning, pretty early actually. I started filming this yesterday. I think I was like 6.5 minutes in, and all of a sudden the power was like, and all of a sudden the generator went on, and the generator's loud. Like there was no, I know I've mentioned outside noises, and you guys are like, oh, it's not a big deal, and I stress over them. The generator wouldn't have worked. It's literally almost right behind the back wall over here, and it's too loud. But we did lose power for about 4.5 hours. What was it? Helene came up, and it went more towards the western part of North Carolina, but there was a lot of rain here. It's funny, it was downpouring all morning, but then it got sunny out, and then the power went out. So I don't know, maybe some substations flooded because there are rivers around here. But further that way in South Carolina as well, because our energy company does, I think South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, parts of Georgia, Kentucky, maybe Ohio and Indiana as well. But I'm looking at the outage map, and there's a lot more outages. Charlotte, and then past Charlotte towards Asheville. But it wasn't out too long. We got to see how much propane we have in the tank, because I don't know if you pour like hot water on a propane tank, right? And it goes down. I guess you touch the cold spot or something because it absorbs the heat. I don't know, something like that. I was told that at some point. Because it is a whole house generator, but I didn't have a lot of stuff on at the time. But I was like 6 minutes in. I was like, whoops, it's not happening. But the internet didn't go out though. Because if the internet went out even with the generator, it still wouldn't be up. It still wouldn't work. So but yeah, just gonna ramble about the usual stuff, right? I was happy to see the people that were enjoying the Harry Potter roleplay. I had a lot of fun making that one. It was I had fun coming up with that idea. The Muggles making technology that could wipe out the wizards and stuff, and the witches. I thought that was kind of fun. I did put the murder mystery roleplay. I redid that. That is not viewing well at all, unfortunately. But I wanted to start fresh on that because I was asked that in a comment, and I commented that. But I'll elaborate a little more because it would have been a much longer comment. But I wanted to new location and stuff. I didn't want to kind of continue it and it'd be weird, and then have to try to explain stuff away. And I only did 2 parts of it, so this one kind of followed the same path. I do like the garage setting. I don't think I will do everyone in there, but I did like the garage setting, and like I said, I tried to actually, no, sorry, I said that in the ramble. I was started yesterday. I got cut short. I don't know why this decided to autofocus right there when it's on manual. It was raining on Thursday as well, and I was like, oh, let me get out there in the rain. I don't know if the rain was picked up too much. It was coming down pretty good. I was like, oh, that adds a little bit to the video if it gets picked up, but I don't know. But I'll continue with that regardless of the views, because I want to actually go through it and see how it goes. This laptop is I think I'm gonna have to get a new one. This one's 3 years old and it makes more sound more often I don't know, you probably can hear it now. It's kind of the fan or whatever, I don't know. It is a little over 3 years old, so it's reaching its life cycle. Maybe next year, in 25, I'll start to look at, laptops or something. Or maybe I'll get like a traditional PC and still use this maybe for videos in different places. I don't know, we'll see. Today's the 28th, so getting closer to Silent Hill 2. I am getting excited to play that. It should be fun. I've seen enough video on it to know that I should enjoy it. I don't think it's gonna let me down. Could I be wrong? Of course. I had 2 headaches again. Actually, I've had a headache since, it's still there, so very slightly, but since maybe it was Thursday. No, it's today, Saturday. Since like Wednesday. Wednesday was bad. Then it went away. Thursday they weren't terrible like the ones I had last week. I think that was last week or 2 weeks ago. But they're lingering. I'm starting to think it might be sinuses too. But we did get a lot of rain. My mom and aunt didn't get much. They got wind in Florida. They're in central Florida, so they only kind of got the outskirts of that storm. I know some places got rocked. A lot of flooding in places. There's a dam in North Carolina. I don't know where it is. I think broke or busted. So, we got lucky because we were on the outskirts of it too. We just got a lot of rain. But it has been raining here quite a bit the past couple of weeks, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was some overflow, maybe in some power stations. I don't know. I didn't see the reason for the outage. I'll follow the map, but then the power came on, and I didn't look. And then by the time I looked again, the outages were already gone, so I couldn't see what it was. Maybe do random hand motions throughout. I might try to do a movie review this. Well, it might end up being. I might film it this weekend. Someone was asking about movie reviews. I haven't done one in a while. Maybe I'll try one this tomorrow or during the week, maybe. I want to do an eating Taco Bell video soon too. I've done those in the past, but I've not done one down here. I don't believe, right? I don't think I've done Taco Bell down here. I mentioned the haunted house, I think, in a video that we went to over the weekend. That was really cool. Long too. It was close to an hour. The whole thing, which is really nice. Big area in the middle where you could drink if you want. There was a band playing covers. And they had like my fiance filmed it. They had like a monster parade in the main area in the beginning, which was kind of cool. You couldn't film in there unless you were. There are videos on YouTube. I guess big YouTubers that like go to these places. That's what they do. They allow them to film. They let them in like first. Like they give them like a 5-minute head start so they can film, and then you'll see people behind them in the video. So we were able to watch. My friend was down too. My friends were down here, but the one went to a golf tournament and then came back, so he wasn't there for the haunted house. We kind of just looked at little snippets of the video just to see how it was, and then we watched it full actually the following day after he went, because this guy must have went, I think he's Tampa J, he's called. He went the opening weekend. He has a video of I want to go to this one time too. It's where you go to it's almost like it's like a tour of where the original Friday the 13th was filmed in New Jersey. Jersey. I can't remember the exact town. That seemed kind of cool. I was like, well, that's cool. And I guess he does other haunted houses and stuff as well. But because you can't film in there. Although people are taking you snap quick photos of things in there. Plenty of people are doing it. I don't think you'd want to film in there anyway during it because you're pretty tight with your group and then other groups. It's like you don't really want to stop because you get bumped into. It was really well done though. I might have mentioned this already. I'll mention it again, but the one time they got me good because the end part, like Asylum, Brookhaven Asylum. I don't know if it's Brookhaven, Long Island, but you go through, and all of a sudden there's like a bunch of fog and stuff and bright lights, and it's hard to see. And I look back at my fiance, I'm like, "Can you see?" And all of a sudden I turn around, the person's right in front of me. I was like, "Oh shit." She's like, "Can you see?" I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "I can now." And the beginning had it was very dark at points. They didn't have any of that, thankfully, because I get claustrophobic with that stuff. But they have these kind of, it's like filled with air, and they press against you. You gotta push your way through them. I hate those, and those are popping up in a lot of these things. First time we dealt with it was actually in Canada. We went to Canada in 2018, and it's in Niagara Falls, the area on the Canadian side, where it's like a haunted house. It's almost just like a walk-through house. It's completely in the dark, except for these red lights that kind of point you where to walk to. But there was one of those things that I was like, "Oh, I do not like this. Come on." And that's been popping up. I think I did that another 2 or 3 times in haunted houses after that. Or maybe it was twice. I think it was the one in, it was one last year in Copenhagen on Long Island. And then it was one after, I think it might have been Penhurst Asylum. That also had it. I'm trying to remember. It was definitely another one. Because where do we... Penhurst was 2018. And that was 19, 20, 21, 22. 23 was Copenhagen. 24 was here in Greensboro, this one. We did not go in 2020. 19, I don't think we went to one either. There had to have been another one we went to. Because I don't think we would have skipped that many. Oh, we went to Bayville. That's where they had it, Bayville. It's also Long Island. It's on the North Shore. And we went to that in, I guess we went to that in probably 22. And then I don't think we went, 19, 20, 21 we might not have gone. 2020 we definitely did. 19 we didn't. I'm pretty sure we did in 21. 22. Unless we did, I might be forgetting one. But the Bayville one had one too. But this one was really cool though. It was really well done. It was the longest one I've gone to. Oh, and it looked really nice. Like everything, like I said, it was well done. Like the detail and a lot of stuff was really nice. There's a mortuary. They had a life. I was gonna say Life Among Us, a Last of Us thing in the beginning. So some people were dressed up as clickers. There was a horror movie one. You go into a movie theater and then you go to Freddy's house, Crystal Lake, Michael Myers' house. That was a cool part where it's Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, and they do like a scene. And then, excuse me, 1 second. It depends on when you walk through. How you get through that part is what part of the scene you'll see. This is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There was an area. There was a pirate area and then like a voodoo area as well. When you get on this kind of pirate boat and it completely shifted out of nowhere, you're like, whoa. There was an asylum. There was the mine. There were some other ones as well. I can't remember that. Oh, there was one for Stranger Things. I didn't know a ton of that. I only saw like the first 6 or 7 episodes of Stranger Things. I recognize some of the stuff, but still well done. And there's a couple other things as well thrown in there. Like I said, I can't remember all the full names. Oh, one was called Hardwired. Really cool. And they do other stuff there too. They do a Christmas one, apparently a Krampus one. And then it's a farm regularly. They do stuff. I'd check it out though if you're in the area, if you're in North Carolina, or it's in Greensboro. Or if you're in Virginia, maybe it's not that far from there either. It depends on where you are in Virginia. Or if you're super into these things, you come up, make a trip of it. But that was really, that was a fun time. And like I said, we saw Speak No Evil. I talked about that briefly. Maybe I'll review like Long Legs or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'll wait to watch another movie. I could do Beetlejuice as well. But some of this stuff leaves my head fairly fast, so I forget. I might have to mute this again. Let me take a sip of water, actually. Clear that up. Maybe I'm getting sick. Who knows? Do want to get to the antique stores. I might go to the Toy Busters again tomorrow on Sunday. Let's look at some of those G.I. Joe figures. Because like I said, they have great prices there. Like I said, the Bloodstone was $8. Like that's like realistically, if I wanted to get the copy I got on eBay, it'd be at least $25 before tax and stuff. Shipping would be included. Before tax, it would have been like 27, maybe 26. Tax is less here than it is in New York, so by like a penny. I think it's 7 here. And then sometimes there's like an additional 2% tax on certain items here, so those certain items only get taxed at 2%. I remember I first saw it, I think it was like 7%, and then 2, I was like, what's this? What are they doing? What's this extra tax? In New York, at least on Long Island, it was like 8,625. It's one of the highest in the country, I believe. Not the highest. I'm sure there's counties in California that are higher, and I'm sure there's some other counties in New York that are higher than that as well. But I said to my fiance, like, it doesn't seem like a lot. Like, we'll just say 1.5 cents, 1.625 cent less. But you notice it when you start buying stuff, and you're like, yeah, I just saved about 30 cents there. Like, over time, you're saving money. Every penny counts. But I want to go back there. I do want to go I'll probably go next week. I was going to go into town this week, but then I started getting the headaches, and it downpoured yesterday for a while, till about 11:12. It was pouring all day on Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday it poured, and then Wednesday it did not. But I originally wanted to go on Thursday, and then my head was still bothering me. Nope. But I have to go on at least Wednesday, because all three, the ones I go to, there's I think it's Flea Marketeers, the Antique Mall, and the Antiques and Geeks. Antiques and Geeks is closed Monday, Tuesday. I think the other two are closed Saturday, Sunday. So Wednesday I'd have to go to have them all open. I like going to those places though. I don't know. I like walking around them and stuff. The little town areas is nice too. I like just walking in. It's nice to get out and get some walk too, right? That's what was cool about the haunted house too. It was a nice long walk, and you're going up some pretty steep hills too. I was like, all right, getting some exercise as well. But I think if it's still there, I want to grab that wave race. It's $15, which is also a good deal. There's a comic book place in there. My friend and I went when we went in last week. That I may go in again at some point. I'm not super into comics by any means. Not really at all. I do have some. I showed him in a video. I had more, but I'd give them to the one boss at work. I sent to him. I was like, do you just want... I think he had most of them, but I was like, do you just want these? Because... I wanted to get rid of a bunch of them. But I did keep a good amount too, obviously, as you've seen in that show and tell video, which I might do again in the new camera angle. at some point. But maybe I saw some G.I. Joe comics in there and stuff. Maybe grab some newer stuff. I don't know what comics go for these days. They're probably $4 a comic. I don't know for sure. Or that probably won't happen at all. I did buy, because I've already slowed down on the cards. And that doesn't mean I will buy them again. Like I did actually buy a lot. It was 12 cards of a specific NBA player. I'll show that when I get it. I think it was $3.50, 52 cents after tax and everything. And the cards, I think the 12 cards were like maybe, it might have been $1 something for the cards and then $1 something to ship it. And then a little bit of tax. 12 cards for $3.50, still a great deal. It's like 30 cents a card. But I might collect for specific players. And this player, I already had a few cards that I had when I was a kid still. And I gotta try to find, I might have some more of this player as well. But yeah. I mean, you can get like 50 cards of a player for like $10, $15, you know. And I'm not looking to grade them or anything like that. So if the condition's a little bit, I don't care. I'm just gonna throw them in the little sleeve and then into a hard top loader. I still do want to buy some graded cards, but not at the moment. It depends. I'll also look more. What else? I forget. Already 22 minutes in. I'm already not thinking what to talk about. Like I said, when it comes to eBay, it's nice to see cards at that. Maybe I'll soft spoken a little bit here. It's nice to see some of the. I was like, let me see what a lot of this player's cards. Like first, there was a lot of. It was like 750. I think it was 20 plus cards, and I was like, I don't want to spend that much, even though it's a fantastic deal. And I do have some of his cards already, so I'm trying to find the one I had gotten. I had one card I already had, so I'm like, all right, 11 cards. Still good. I had some of these cards when I was younger, too. But obviously I don't now. But it's nice because that's the cheaper stuff you can find on eBay. I've been looking at Bond games, too. I think I mentioned this. I'm not going to get every one, but I'm looking at like the one on the Genesis, the Duel. I'm looking at Quantum of Solace on the 360, as well as the one on the PS2, because that's a third-person one, and then the other ones are first-person. I'm looking at I almost did it again. Every time, even if it's on the other channel, every time. 007 Legends. It's not WWE Legends. It's 007 Legends. That's going to be an ongoing thing every time I bring this game up. I'm looking at that one. I'm looking at. I already have all the ones on the Xbox that I need. Agent Under Fire, Nightfire, From Russia with Love, Everything or Nothing, and Rogue Agent. I don't think there was any other ones. I was looking at some on the PS1 as well. They have Tomorrow Never Dies. I have World's Not Enough. Although I have the better version, apparently. The Nintendo 64 version of that game is better than the PlayStation 1 version. I did play a little bit of Tomorrow Never Dies one time. I got in at a garage sale and I played a little bit of it to test it. And they had the 007 Racing, which I might get. Those games did not review necessarily well, but I don't really care. There are a bunch of handheld ones. They have From Russia with Love on the PSP. There's like 4 on the DS. They have Bloodstone on the DS, Rogue Agent on the DS, GoldenEye Reloaded on the DS, and I think Quantum of Solace. I don't know how comparable those are to the console versions, or if they're completely different, Or they're just bite-sized versions of the console version. I don't know. There's one on the Game Boy. I know there's a Game Boy version. Atari, the Atari 2600, I think, has one. I would not buy that one. I actually do have an Atari. So technically could play it. I need to find the proper hookup, so I'm missing a hookup. I just got text on there. Yeah, so I do want to get more bonds. I'm not going to get every one. I have sold some games in the past, like 2 weeks. One was not from the shelf. A few were. A couple Switch games. I was like, I'm never going to touch these. I'm starting to move out some of the games because there's no point having them if I'm not going to play them or even think about playing them. Or if they're extremely scratched. Some of the PS2 games are extremely scratched, and that's what I did with one of the ones. I knew it worked, but I just said it was untested, and I dropped a couple bucks off. And, I said scratch. So it was a good deal. But some of the other ones are extremely scratched, and I have tested them in the past, but they struggle. So I just got to put severely scratched and put untested. Because, I don't know. I mean, you can get those discs buffed if you have a buffer. I'm considering buying a buffer for like $100. I've seen some online that look like they're decent ones just to maybe buff some of these discs. Because the two NFL Street games are extremely scratched. I know for a fact the one works because I play a little bit of it. But every PS2 is different. Although the one I have, I need to hook up the slim version I have. I think that might do better because this one, it struggles. This PS2, just in general, it struggles. Even games that are in perfect shape, sometimes it will just struggle. So maybe I will plug the other one in and use that one and see if these games work better, and then maybe I'll be a little more confident. But they are still severely scratched. Which I would put in the description anyway. And take a picture of the disc. And you'll see. But I'm going to continue on with the Xbox, the original Xbox. I'm going to continue on with. I still want to get some 360 games that are unplayable or not playable on the Xbox One because they're not backwards compatible, such as like Quantum of Solace, 007 Legends. If I want to get any of the other Potters they made, maybe I played Order of Phoenix in the PS3, Order of the Phoenix on the PS3 back in the day. I did not play those Deathly Hollow games. They're not supposed to be that good though. There was 2 of them. I don't think they had anything else, right, for those consoles. It was Order of the Phoenix. It was Half-Blood Prince and the 2 Deathly Hollows. I don't think there was any other ones. I think they had a better run on the consoles before that, the PS2, Xbox Cube. Because you got Sorcerer's Stone, you got Chamber of Secrets, Goblet of Fire, Prisoner of Azkaban. I want to say Order of the Phoenix came out on the PS2. Half-Blood Prince probably did too. They were still pumping them out on the PS2 well after the the PS3 was out. And they had the Quidditch game as well. I do eventually have to get Hogwarts Legacy as well. I really do have to get that. That's got to be like $40 game at this point, right? But Silent Hill 2, the remake, is going to take up my time. Because I will play that game. Like, I won't just play that for a day and go away from it for 6 months and then come back to it. That game, I will go full into. And then Alan Wake, the physical edition, comes out at the end of October, and I want that. That's $80, but I don't care because it has the DLC on it, and I want the physical copy of that. I could have gotten it digitally. It goes on sale for about $40, 40-something bucks on PlayStation 5 all the time. I've seen it on sale on the PlayStation Store at least 4 or 5 times. So, I just want to. I remember there was like rumors that they might make a physical copy. And I like my physical copies. If they're available, I will go digital as well. Because sometimes digital has like super deals. Usually the games I have digitally is like Made in Blackwater on the Wii U because it was not released physical. On the Xbox One, I have like usually it's games that go into like Deus Ex. I got on there for like $4. I got Far Cry 4, the whatever edition with all the other stuff on it. I want to say it was like $8 or $9. I will go for like really good deals. Like I have Thief, the Thief game they put out. I got for like $2. I get this game Lords of the Fallen. I think they did a remaster of it. It's like a Dark Souls-esque type game in that same thing. That was like $4. I had gotten the Lego Hobbit for like $4 or $3. Just Cause 3, I think I got for like $4. Like I'll get games when they're super cheap on the digital, but typically I want to go physical copy. But I have no problem buying digital ones, especially like the indie stuff. Obviously, although a lot of that gets a physical release now too. But Alan Wake's just one I would want the physical copy of. I might get the remastered one for. Was that on the? Did they put that? They put that on the PS4. Did they put that on the Xbox One as well? Maybe I'll just get it for the 360 again. That's where I played it originally. It was a exclusive to the 360 back then. Hell of a game too. We almost done with watched the latest episode of Bad Monkey last night. I really liked that show. It's a good show. She was watching. I watched one of the episodes. I guess there's 2 now, maybe. There's High Potential with is it Caitlin Olsen? That's her name. Always Sunny. She was in another show that was alright. That got canceled. She was like a nanny or something for these kids. She was pretty much just playing D again. This one she's not. She's like I guess she's like a house cleaner or something. And she's super smart and she helps out with these cases. Maybe it was only the first episode. I don't know. It was alright. She might keep watching. I don't know if I will. And we started watching the show From. I don't know if it's on Netflix. It might be on Amazon. I don't know. It's got the guy. I can't remember his name. He was in Oz. He was the narrator in the wheelchair in Oz years ago. He was also in the movie The Edge, which is a really good movie with Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins. But it was on Oz. I can't remember what his name is in real life. Pretty cool show. He's in it. I recognize one of the other guys, but I don't know his name either. Pretty decent show. It's very Stephen King type of show. This has been on for a little bit. I think it's 3 seasons. And I've always seen the cover of the 2nd season, I think, where it's that guy, the main guy, and then there's a person in like a window, like making a Joker type face. But these people are stuck in this town. They can't get out. I mean, some of them have been there for a long time. And like vampires come at night, these vampire type things. You gotta stay in your house. This talisman up on the thing. Don't let them in. But then this new family gets stuck in the town too, and now it's going from there. It has a Stephen King vibe to it. Like The Regulators. Or he did that under Richard Bachman. His pseudonym. I think that was similar in the sense that that was more like the kid's mind was creating these characters he dreamed about or saw on TV. And if you tried to leave your house, they would come and like gun you down. I think that one might have been in the same universe as the Insomnia book. Was that the name of it? But I want to start Lord of the Rings. The Rings of Power. It's just called the second season on Amazon. I watched the first 2 episodes on Amazon of the first season. And I know it was not following the book. Well, they would be going for more of the broken up stuff that was it J.R.R. Tolkien had written. He has a lot of books with little, like the Silmarillion. I think stuff has like a little snippets and parts of things, and then he has other, his sons and stuff, grandsons probably now. He had a lot of writings with little bits and pieces of stuff that I guess people try to interpret, right? But there were obvious things from Sauron and stuff like that. But those first 2 episodes were just, I was so bored. I was like, this is boring. I might just skip the rest of the first season. Who knows? But I feel like they've canceled a lot of shows on Amazon because of the massive budget that Lord of the Rings has, that Rings of Power has. They canceled that, it was the Harlan Coben Shelter show, which we liked. 1 season. Paper Girls got canceled a while back. It's kind of annoying. They're throwing like $250 million, if not more, into this show, and then you're like, oh wait, Halo got canceled. Did I mention that at some point? Halo 3rd season got canceled on Paramount. Of course, right as kind of like season 3 probably would have went into like the original Halo game, finally. And I enjoyed a good amount of season 2. Season 1 had its moments that were cool, but overall it was just like, ugh. Season 2 was kind of, but it was getting more cool moments. Of course, Master Chief was not on Reach during the fall of it, and he was not out of his armor for 90% of it. But I was accepting it, and I was kind of enjoying it more for what it was. Actually, you know what? I didn't watch the last 2 episodes. I think I heard what happened. The flood gets introduced. And that didn't go the same way either. They didn't do that the same way either as it goes in the game. So, I don't know why. And I don't harp on it long enough. I just move on. I don't care enough. Right? If I want my Halo, I will play the games or read the books. If the show's not doing it for me, it's not doing it for me. I'll get pissed and I'll move on. Now, I will bitch about it here but this is in general for all the other stuff too. I don't know why they have this boner for just completely going away from the source material. I understand you can change stuff up. Like the Fallout show was fantastic. Now Fallout's a little different because you can do different things, although that's playing off of, I think they end up going towards New Vegas at the end of it. But you can play off things with Fallout because there's so much stuff going on. You can come up with new stuff if you'd like, because you could be like, well, this story's never been told, right? Now with Halo, the Flood are introduced in a specific way. We know for a fact Master Chief was not out of his armor on Reach fighting the Covenant. We know this. I don't know why they go so far. Like Last of Us followed stuff pretty well too. It has the guy, I think, one of the creators. I know the woman, what's her name? Amy Henning. Is that her name? I think she was on the... No, maybe she had no part in Last of Us. She was part of Uncharted, and then there's rumors she got booted by the guy from... Was it Neil Druckmann who did Last of Us? I don't know if any of this is true or not. But she had left Uncharted, I think, by 4. But there was rumors she was kind of getting pushed out because they were leaning a certain way. But she was on the Legacy of Kain games too, so she's a good story writer on this. And I think she's done some other stuff. She might have did maybe Was it the Jack? Maybe some of the Jack games. I don't know. Well known in the industry, but I don't know why I went into that. But Last of Us is pretty much like the game, right? But with little differences, which is fine. It's when they start to go so far off in the differences. It's like with Halo. With Halo, alright, they go from beginning. They're going from even before Master Chief is on the ring, right? And the events of the first game. Fine. But they immediately took him out of his armor, so much of it. Which, listen, that was going to happen. You're not going to have him in his suit the whole time. Master Chief would have his helmet off at points. Maybe in the games you don't see it, but he's not walking around and sleeping with his helmet on, right? He's not just hanging out with other Spartans and they just have their, So I can accept that. But then he's fully at it. But so much was annoying, right? It should have been like he's in the armor like 70% of the time and 30% he's not. And then in the second season, he literally loses armor. But admittedly, I was enjoying parts of the second season more, even though it was completely off base. I was enjoying it more. Maybe I detached myself enough from it, hoping it would get to the events of Halo, the first Halo. But they really they go so far off of what it is, the source material is. And The Witcher did this too. It was doing it well at first, and then it slowly started to go completely away from the books. And you're like, why? Oh. I forgot they're coming back for the fourth. Is it the fourth season of The Witcher? I checked out in the third season. There was a third season, right? I might have checked out in the second season. No, I didn't. Because now, what's his name? Is it Liam Hemsworth? It's going to be Geralt. I'll probably watch an episode and see how he is. Like I said, though, I love The Witcher books. They're great. Games are cool. But I'll complain about it briefly, and I'll move on. Because, whatever. I'm not changing anything, right? But I don't, it is what it is, right? Like, I'd love for it to be perfect. Like, Fallout was fucking awesome. I like that show more than Last of Us show. And that has stuff from the Fallout universe, but there are different characters in here and stuff like that, because there can be different characters. That's a different scenario because there's so many vaults and everything. You could have stories coming from all over the country, right? And they still stay true to the games in terms of some of the goofiness, the look, the lore and stuff like that, which was cool. But it still gets serious as well. It's not all, kind of goofy stuff. And it was gory. I gotta watch the Fallout show again. I really like the Fallout show. I might actually go up to New York. My friends might come down again in February, and I might go back with them and then take the train back down. So I save on one train ride. But yeah, I do want to get to the antique store again. The Toy Buster store is really cool too. I want to get in. I want to look at the games a little more closely this time too and see what else they have. And see if they got more really good prices. Because I'm still like, it sounds stupid, but I'm almost still blown away by that Bloodstone price. I was like $8. I immediately grabbed it. I'm like, yes. Maybe they had Quantum of Solace there. I should look. Because I'm watching a few on eBay. But I want to go back there and see. Because that could be like a $4 game there or something. I gotta start hitting the garage sales again here. I kind of just stopped bothering. But I wanted to get back to them in the fall, and now we're already through September, so Because I would think garage sales might run later here than up there, because it will be a little warmer down here. We'll find out. I want to try to film. Hopefully, we get another rainy day next week, and I can film another part of that murder mystery roleplay. I didn't do the hand motions for more than like one time. It happens. I'll probably go for a few more minutes here. See, if I was making this video yesterday and I got to like 30, 35, even like 20 minutes, and the power kicked off, and the generator went on, I would have been like, okay, I'm just stopping this here. It's a short ramble. But I think it was like 6.5 minutes in. We gotta find out the propane level on there. Propane is expensive. There's two like bigger, they're probably about 4-foot tanks, maybe 5-foot tanks. I should have a G.I. Classified figure coming actually in the next week as well. I had pre-ordered 2. One comes December. With those, I go with the ones I really liked when I was a kid and stuff, or they look cool. I don't go nuts on those things. There's maybe like a few I probably shouldn't have gotten, but I'm happy with pretty much all of them. What's the sound of one clan clapping? It's not, it doesn't, you can't do it. No, look, Lise. It's The Simpsons. Here's one clan clapping. I do want to do the Bloodstone gameplay as well. I'll probably try to do that next week. I gotta eventually film something in the shed too. I might do another one of those kind of fire watchtower type videos, and because that was perfect when I did that in Massapequa with the shed. I did the interview one. I might redo a similar thing to that. That is a bigger shed. We have a bigger shed here. There's no window on it. The shed in Massapequa had 2 windows. But this one does have a light in there, so I can turn the light on. I remember I wanted to do that after that game, Firewatch. That was a really good game. I recommend that game to anybody. It's not overly long. It's probably, I got it for $10, I think. Or maybe it was $5 on sale. I think it's normally 20. It was 5 or 10 on sale. Really cool, though. The guy who does the voice is actually the guy from, it was in Mad Men, and he was in Summer of '84. I think his name's Rich Somner. Be back with another NFL recap. I'm happy to see those are still viewing well 3 weeks in. There was a game already, the Cowboys. Preview. The Cowboys beat the Giants in a close game. Their rookie got a concussion, though, the Giants. But yeah, probably I'm at 50 minutes. I'll just push it to an hour. 9:02. I I do DoorDash too, or the Uber Eats. I should say, the Uber app, the Uber Eats for food one day, just to see how it goes. If the food's too cold or something, I'd be like, okay, one and done type thing. Because the Taco Bell's not overly far from here. Like, if they pick it up, they can get here from Taco Bell in 10 minutes, realistically. They could probably get here in 10 to 12 minutes by car. Maybe less. If you don't hit, there are about... No, there's only one light. Maybe two. Two lights. Okay, there's two, I think. I filmed one of the storms from the porch out of the rain. I forgot to put that up as a short. I thought this up randomly, like the video game collection one, like here's a preview. I do want to try that soon as well. I'm going to put it up on the tripod high up and kind of stand in front of the games and kind of go through them, pull some out, maybe tap on something like that. But not go through every single game. Or maybe go through every single one, but a little quicker and pull out specific ones and talk about them. I want to see how that goes. So I'll film it and whatever. It goes over well, it doesn't. Because that could be a nice new angle. I think that tripod, I don't... It gets over 5 feet, I think, when you pull up the middle part. So it should be good enough. I'm going to have to get down, though, to get those original Xbox 360 games. That's fine, though, and I'll pull out the Nintendo 64 and the Super Famicom games. I will keep the kind of Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance games. I won't even bother with those. Do that before I start selling some more of them. I sold a couple of Vita games too. I had sold Danganronpa, which I had gotten from Gamefly, and I sold that because I have the collection now on the Switch, so I'm not going to be playing it on the Vita. And I think I paid $20 for it when it came out. Well, not when it came out, when I got it on Gamefly, which is a good deal. Then it kind of went up in value to like $40-50, and it dropped back down. I think I sold it for 20 something. Oh, I sold one other one too. What was it? Chaos Child. I don't even know why I got that one. It's not even that it was a bad game from when I played of it, but I think I had an Amazon gift card and I wanted to play it. That's where it came from. I think I just sold those two. Was there a third one? I do not think there was a third game I had sold. But I'm looking at stuff. It's funny. I think I've mentioned this in the past, right? It's like, oh, they look great on the shelf and everything. Because I've never had all my games out displayed at any point. And now I finally do, and I'm like, it looks great. But then I'm looking at them, I'm like, I don't need some of these games. I should just move these. Like, I don't need them. My focus is, I guess, going to be the original Xbox still. Some of those games that I can't play on the Xbox One that aren't backwards compatible for 360. PS5, of course, because that will just grow over time normally, because that's the latest console I've had. There's a few games I want on the Switch still, maybe like 3 or 4. The Wii U I'm done with. The GameCube I might, like a wave race, if I can find games on the cheap, because it's an expensive system to collect for. Even the PS1 I might be done with. There might be a few I get. I might try to get more of the boxed Genesis games, but not go nuts on those because those get a little pricier. But even like Super Nintendo, the NES, and the PSP, I might try to grab a few more for. But I've already, like I said in that video for the PSP, I got it, I played a bunch of it, and I haven't touched it in a while. Xbox One I'm pretty much done with, outside of maybe a couple of games. PS4 I'm done with. The PS2 is another one I might not bother with. I might grab something if I find it cheap. Like if I'm in one of these stores or something, or even the GameStop has PS2 game I'm really interested in, I'll grab it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to try to get them. It's really the original Xbox is the one I'm going to really expand on, and the PlayStation 5 over time. I will expand on. I should do a full video of my, if people, and I don't know if you've gotten this far in the video, 56-minute mark, but I should do I might just do it anyway, I might do it on my own channel as well. Just my collecting habits, like I almost tried, I'm going to ramble on this for a few here, I'll end it with this. I don't, it's like I almost want to be a collector, but I am not a collector. Like I can have, like this, I have a lot of video games, but I don't have a shit ton. I'm not like, you watch people on YouTube, they have thousands of games. They're collectors, they have thousands of games, right? I would never get to that. I wouldn't allow myself to. Because I see it, like I said, I see it out in the open. I'm like, I could sell a bunch of these. They're useless to me. And it's the same thing with, like, cards. I'm like, I'm going to start collecting them again. I go hard for a couple of weeks. So stupid. It's so gross. I get bored. Or I'm just like, I'm spending money here. What am I doing? I need to focus myself, like, more like, okay, I want to collect for specific players, and it's much cheaper to do. The players I liked when I was younger, and cards I had. And while buying maybe a blaster here and there, or a full hobby box here and there, right? Retail box, whatever it may be. I can't go full bore with that stuff, because then I'm going to just stupidly spend money and be like, what am I doing? Same thing with, like, older toys. Like, the classified figures are cool, and I'm doing that collection the right way. I'm buying the ones that either the figures I really like when I was a kid, or they look really cool. I'm not just buying all of them. But even with the classified figures too, I've stopped. I haven't gotten. When this one comes next month, that'll be the first one I've gotten in a little while. At least like 6-8 months. So that one I've always kind of slowed down on, but I've thought about maybe the Transformers stuff or the He-Man when they made those retro ones, and I just pulled back on the He-Man completely. Even like going to those Toy Busters, seeing the 80s G.I. Joe figures, being, oh, I remember this kid, I'm going to buy some of these. Thankfully they're cheaper, but I know myself. I will be like, I'm done, I'm bored. This is how I am. I am not a collector, and I can't convince myself that I'm not for some reason. Or I'm like a kind of a collector. Like, I want to go, the Xbox, legitimately, I want to get more games for that system. I need to focus. I need to be a focused collector on one or two things. Even with cards, I need to be like, I need to focus on a player or two, or I need to focus on a specific brand, like maybe the Topps Heritage or Upper Deck Hockey. That's it. And just focus on one. Because even with, I bought Topps Heritage. I bought a couple blasters of the, I don't know what basketball, I can't remember what they were called. They were cheap though, they were like $11. The Heritage, I forget what it was. Even buying some of those old football cards too, I just grab them. And those are $1 a piece a pack, so it's not, you're not spending a ton. But I do that, I'm like, oh crap, what am I doing now? I think I more like looking at like people's game rooms on YouTube, and I'm like, it looks so great. Wow, imagine having that. And then thinking for a second, it'd be cool to have that, and being like, no, too much money. And then I already have enough games I haven't played. To have even more, that's stupid. I might as well sell them. Because I am good at reeling myself in. I never go full force for an extended period, because I know. I think I said it when I was buying the PSP. I'm like, I'll get this PSP, I'll buy some games, and I'll get bored. That's how I am. But it's nice to have it, though, so if I want more PSP games, I can grab them. It is nice to have the systems, though, for when I do get back to garage sales or I get stuff with the intent to sell it, I can at least test it. So it is nice to at least have the systems. I don't need to go nuts with the games. That's why at some point I might get the Retron 5. They have an expansion port for the Retron 5. Now the problem is I have the Retron Square and the 3. So the 3 plays the Genesis, Super Nintendo, NES. You play the Famicom stuff as well. Super Famicom. And then the Retron Square plays the Game Boy stuff. Now if I get the Retron 5, it plays the Game Boy stuff and all the stuff on this. So I'd almost be like, okay, I'm selling the other two things. But you get an expansion piece, which I kind of want if I do it, because you can play the Game Gear, Sega Game Gear, and the Sega Master System stuff, which would be cool. Not that at garage sales I come around. I don't come across. I don't think I've ever come across Sega Master System stuff. I have come across. I got a Game Gear at garage sale. You would have seen the video on this channel. But anyway, I'm gonna stop that there. We're over an hour here, just over an hour. But yeah, this is the Come True Long Ramble about whatever, the usual stuff, some other things, and also some soft spoken in there as well. But thanks for checking this out.